All right. Hi. This is my first time doing a live stream, and so I'll introduce myself here in a second. I am Keely, and our family is the Conley Family Channel, and today we're going to be talking about creating a simple budget for your family and how we have used it to allow ourselves to pay off a good amount of debt. So if you hear my kids in the background as you're coming on, they will eventually hush. They're pretty good about staying quiet if I'm doing something. But the baby, on the other hand, who's handing me a plate, sometimes she is, sometimes she isn't. So as I said, we're going to talk about creating a simple budget for your family, and I'm going to go over the step-by-step process that we use as a family to help pay our bills and then to pay off debt, as well as budget for expenses like car registration or medical bills, medication, things that kind of happen occasionally, but not on a weekly basis. So if you're joining us, please feel free to comment or say hi, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I'll loop back for anybody if they have questions. So the first thing that we do when creating our budget is we list all of our bills out. So I'm just going to give like a demo of kind of what we do. So I'm going to show you it in a second so you can see, like, we'd list our water bill, $80, and it's paid on the 1st. Our trash bill, $15. And like, these are really what our bills would be. And I've been budgeting this way for a long time, so I just know them by heart. Okay. So these are not realistic numbers always, but right here, probably can't see that well, but we list them out. So always when you're listing out your bills on your paper, you can use a notebook or you could use an Excel spreadsheet, whatever you're comfortable with. But we just use paper because it's simple, and if we mess up, I can just start again. Or if our budget changes, like a bill increases or decreases, it's very simple to just redo this way. So I list them out in order of the 1st of the month all the way through the 30th. And what that does is it allows me to, like, if we're in a pay week and I go, okay, it's the 14th through the 21st. Let me see. These are the bills we have. I make sure on my weekly budget, which we'll go over, that those are listed there. And that allows me and really helps me to stay on track and not forget any bills, because I will be honest, I have done that before. And then I've gone, oh no, we're late. There's a late fee, and we want to try to avoid that and not upsetting anybody who we owe money to. My pumpkin. So, like I said, I have little ones, so they will pop in and out. So you're going to go ahead and list yours, and you would go all the way down. I'll show you again what mine looks like, and we'll say, I'm going to write another example out. So you would have all of yours listed down. So the day of the month, the name, the cost, and you would do that all the way through. So now once that's completed, what I like to do on the bottom is write income. And so then we'll just make up a number. And you would write your income right there. And then after that, what you would do is you would put outgoing. And you will total up the total number of your bills, and then you'll subtract that amount. So, yeah. We'll say that we have outgoing $1,500 a month. Remember, these are just made up numbers. Oh. Did you say hi? So you would do it like that. And then you're going to put the remainder. So why I do this is because we want to know exactly what we have left. Every penny has a place, and that way, if we're saving, if we're budgeting to replace something or pay car insurance, we know just how much we have in a month left, and so that we can allocate a spot for that money, make sure that it doesn't get mismanaged or used. Oh boy, she wants the computer. Misused on things. Miss Madeline, here. So that is kind of how we start. So we'll say that my incoming is $2,000, my outgoing is $1,500, so I have $500 remaining. So now in your pay weeks, when we go to break down our weekly, biweekly, or monthly budget, we would go ahead and say, all right, this week we have $100 of that $500 left, and we are going to put $100 of it in a savings, because we know in 2 months our car registration is coming up, and we don't want to use credit to pay for this. So this is really just a way to, like, if you're someone who uses credit, you should still budget and you should still have a plan for your money, because if you don't, then we're more likely to mismanage or overspend. So that's what we do. And then we're going to go on to what a weekly budget would look like. And this would obviously vary depending on what bills you have. And I'll write that out and I'll show it as well, kind of how we break it down each week. Okay, so we'll say that my weekly paychecks are $500 if I make $2,000 a month. And we're going to tithe $50 because that's 10%. So I would write that first, and then let's see if I can zoom that in. You would subtract that amount and always write what you're paying next to it so you know, okay, then that's right, the remainder, there's $450 left. So then we would say we have to budget. So a mortgage is typically your biggest expense. You're a goofball. She's moving her jaw up and down. Our biggest expense. So we divide the cost of the mortgage by 4 weeks so we can budget for it each week. So we would say our mortgage is $100 a week, which that's not really realistic. That's not really what my mortgage is. I wish. That would be wonderful. Okay, so then that leaves us with $350 left. We need to budget for our gas and food. So we would look, okay, will we allocate $100 a week towards gas and food? Okay, so then that leaves us here. And let's say all of our bills are paid for that week. And this is what we have left. So then we would look at our sheet and go, okay, these are upcoming bills that are not a weekly bill or a monthly bill, a once a year, twice a year type of bill, like car registration. So we're going to budget for our registration. And then I go ahead and on the bottom, I keep a running total. So our mortgage, we have $100 saved for the month. You're just being so friendly. You just hi. Okay, and then you would say, okay, car registration. I have that written down. I'm going to say I have 50. And then you run that over the next week. So when we go to do the next week's budget, whatever's left over, you can kind of see how I do that. I just abbreviate. Okay, I have $100 for my mortgage saved. I need to save 4 more. So we would just title them and write them down, and then keep going until you've reached the amount. Now, in the beginning, when we started doing this, if we were having a hard time keeping track, we would also write underneath, and I will show you like this. So we've saved 100 out of 400 for that bill. And then that kept very close track of where those would be. If you follow Dave Ramsey or his type of planning, they would call this a sinking fund. We do somewhat follow the methods of his program, not exactly. But that worked very greatly for us to be able to keep track of our money, make sure that I was allocated and going to the correct places. So then after that, I would continue to plan for at least a minimum of 1 month, so 4 weeks of paying your bills and making sure everything's paid for, written down, and then always go back over it with a calculator. Hi, and check to make sure your math is correct, and look over your bills, like have them physically with you or pulled up in your email if they are an email bill. Do you want to color? So that way you don't forget anything, because the worst thing is having a bill come in and you going, oh no, I didn't budget for it. If you are a family who is trying to get out of debt or live within your means and not go over and borrow from credit to pay for your basic needs, then this is something that you will find beneficial. I have to let the dog out. Hold on. Here you go, buddy. Okay, we have a big black lab, and he is not patient when he needs to go outside. So how we've used this method for our family, about, you say please, about 7 years ago, my husband and I had come across Dave Ramsey and his methods, and we were like, okay, this is an interesting concept, like not using credit or loans to pay for your bills, living within your means. That was like a weird thing to us, but like everybody has credit cards. This is just normal. but it was not. We found out it's not normal, and a large amount of Americans do not live on credit. And so we said we don't want to have credit anymore. So we started out at $120,000 in debt, not including our home. Very, very high amounts of debt. A large amount of it was medical debt, which we're still paying off. But since then, we're down to $65,000 in debt. Huge difference, and it's such a praise by budgeting and making sure that that money that was left over was applied towards our debt. So that's the next step. After you've budgeted for all your bills and your upcomings, your Christmas gifts that you need to have saved for, whatever it may be, then you'll take whatever is left and you'll apply that amount to whatever debt that you're working on. And how we pay off our debts is we list our debts from smallest to largest. And we go ahead and pay off the smallest one first and work our way down. Since this has happened and we've been paying off debt, we've had 2 occurrences where we have actually incurred more debt foolishly because we thought, oh, we're good. We're on top of this. There's no problems here. You want to go grab that? Get the pin. So we've gotten a car loan since then, and we regret it. That's the thing, is that we thought, oh, we won't regret it. We'll pay it off. And then life happens, and we had a daughter who had a lot more medical issues. Please don't draw on my face. A lot more medical issues. And so with that came a lot of medical bills, thousands upon thousands of dollars. So we're still in that mode of paying off debt. And it probably, in all reality, will be another 5 years before we're fully out of debt. And the goal is to just someday be able to live very comfortably within our means. And that budget will be more free, and there'll be more room for fun things. So if you don't catch this on live stream and you have questions, please feel free to comment. I'd be glad to help you with your budget or let you know what worked for us. Are you talking? And help you in any way that I can. The resources that we've used to inspire us and motivate us to pay off debt and get in a good budget, we're all free, and I'm happy to share them. YouTube has a good amount of Dave Ramsey's baby step videos, and there's free audiobooks on it, and I think they have a radio channel. Like I said, we don't really follow his plan fully and completely. We're ish with it. You guys saying hi? Yeah.
I was just bored.
I'm sure. So if you would like those resources, I am happy to help. Thank you for watching, and I hope this kind of gives you an idea of how to set up your budget, stick to it, and either pay off bills or save up for things that you need or want. And that's about it. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this about budgeting, homeschooling, cooking, cleaning. That's kind of what we're about, simplicity and living